Annoy your friends. Make your friends hate your guts. Make your friends hate your deck. Make your friends never want to play with you again. These are just some of the things that you'll never hear me try to do, or try to tell you to do, or try to influence you to build your decks around. But just before we get too far going on into the video, we make lots of great content here on the channel. But did you know that over 94% of people that are watching this video right now aren't subscribed? It would be of great help for this channel if you would consider subscribing, so please think about subscribing. It really helps out the channel a lot. I see so many content creators do these things and put these things into their videos, and I think it's actually disgusting and wrong. The game of Commander sometimes has these negative and toxic elements to them, and I just don't like them. That is me, and that is the way that I want to play. I do not want to play with all of this stuff where the goal of my deck is to annoy my opponents. Like, I'm not actively going out of my way to put cards in there that I think people will dislike or whatnot and this sort of thing. Whatever. That's not my way of doing things. If my opponents are annoyed with what I'm doing because of their own personal preferences or whatnot, whatever, that's a little bit different. But again, my goal isn't to, make my opponents mad or make them never want to play with me again or whatnot. I think that that's also a bit of a story as to kind of why. I don't know whether people are too interested in that, but it is part of the reason why is part of my whole life. My whole life, for most people like me as well, we're all nerds. I grew up for the longest time with very few friends, and I always treasured friendship, because I never really had very many friends, and the few friends that I had, were very dear to me because, I so rarely got to actually have friends that I sort of didn't want to ever lose those friends, and whatnot. But sometimes I did lose those friends because of, things that were outside of my control or whatnot, whatever. I had to move several times, different things like this. But again, I still never really wanted to lose friends, and it was an emotional thing to lose friends. So I look at friendship and whatnot and gaming and all of this sort of stuff a little bit different. I never want to sit down at a table to be annoyed myself, so I know how it feels to be in those shoes of people that are, being annoyed. I'm often annoyed, which sometimes some people find funny, and sometimes I can play that up, and sometimes it's a fun part of the game and whatnot and things like that sometimes, but again, I still don't enjoy it or whatnot, and so, but whatnot, I put up with that sort of thing sometimes or play up how annoying some things are, because sometimes that's funny and that, helps the game dynamic go along and it actually leads to an enjoyable experience. But again, you can still be annoyed with certain cards like Nyx Blue Mage. It's a very dangerous and powerful card and whatnot. Things like this. He's got a bigger and better board than me. Well, that's annoying. But again, it doesn't make me hate their deck or want to never face their deck again or whatnot. But there are decks that are out there, and again, whatnot out there, and there are suggestions that are out there that I think just go in the face of what I think the format is. And again, people can agree or disagree with me or whatnot in the way that I think about the format and whatnot. I want to play, what I want to play, and again, everyone else wants to play what they want to play. So I know that not everyone's going to just change the way they play. They want to play decks like this, and that's fine. But again, that's just not me. And if anyone comes to my channel looking for how do I build the saltiest deck, or how do I build the deck that makes my opponents scoop in frustration or whatnot, and no, that's not what I do. I build decks that are synergistic and that you can win games with, and you can have fun with, and your opponents can have fun with. It's so that you can go, okay, I have several strategies to win and whatnot, and this sort of thing. But, again, it's not trying to inherently annoy or whatever anyone. It's actually trying to show, hey, this is how you could build a cool, humans deck, or this is how you could build a cool, like vampire deck, or whatever it is. Like, this is how you could build a cool landfall deck, or this is how you could build this cool deck like this, or this isn't this interesting, and like I can show you how like these cards synergize together, and this works with this, and this works with that. Isn't that cool how my deck like works together, and how I found certain cards that all work together to make the deck flow and function in the way that I wanted to flow and function, because I actually like dug for cards and like tried to find cards that I thought would fit into the deck. So it's a really interesting like deck building process for other people to go, oh wow, that seems like a cool deck. I actually want to pick that deck up and take it home and whatnot, and or build it myself, or build something similar to it. It gives people inspiration. Everything that I want to do is for positivity, is for helping somebody out or whatnot, is for somebody to go, yeah man, I want to go down to my my LGS and jam some games with my friends, because I don't get to play that much. I value getting to play, and I think we've all started to value getting to play more and more, especially since the lockdowns and whatnot. I know here where we are in Tasmania, we're a little bit better off than in some places, but still, we still had that issue, and I think like it's never the same over webcam or whatnot, because you don't get to interact as much with people. You can't read people's faces as well over webcam or whatnot, or they might not even have a face cam or whatnot, so you're only seeing their cards and the back of their hand or whatnot and things like that. So yeah, you're not getting the full experience of like going to your game store, or getting around the kitchen table and shuffling up with your friends and whatnot. And that's what I think Commander should be. It should just be people coming together for fun, exciting, interesting games, not just like oh cool, somebody's gotten like way ahead and they just win. Like, there should be like the chance that everyone else gets to play the game and gets to enjoy playing the game. Yes, sure, sometimes somebody's going to get ahead, but at least in those games where somebody does get ahead, the other players work together and can do something and can make the game a little bit more competitive. But when a game just sort of gets out of hand because somebody's going, well, I brought my deck to win the game on turn 0 basically, or whatnot, and everyone else bought decks that aren't really tuned very highly like that, it's unfair to those people and disrespectful, I find. And it's just disrespectful, like all of this stuff that all of these people sort of bring, and like players too, because players do this and whatnot. And that wizards, like in their vast knowledge of gaming, know that nerds and whatnot have some of those tendencies. But again, I just don't think that it's healthy for the game to have those elements as part of the format. But again, that is my opinion, and that is what this channel is founded on, and that is what I'm going to continue to go forward with, no matter what. Like, I'm not going to change the way I am, and if people want to go off and find the things that are like that, then you be my guest. But this is where I'm just like making this statement to say, hey, I don't agree with any of this stuff, and this is what my channel does. I put things out there. I want to make things for people to have fun with, for everyone to have fun with, and to invite people, no matter what they're doing, basically, for the most part, to come and play and have fun and just talk about like gaming and like cards and what they love about like the format and things like that. It's we're all in the format together, and we're all part of the format. It's not me against the world and I want to make my friends or the people that I play with miserable. No, I want my those people that I get to play with to be like, wow, you built a really cool deck, and whatnot, or whatever. Or ask me, what was your deck actually doing, because you didn't really get to do very much, but it seems like a cool deck or whatnot. If you got going or whatnot, what would you do, and things like that. I want people to be interested in my deck. Oh wow, you've got cool lands, you've got pretty basics, you've got pretty dual lands, like you've got borderless lands, and you've got alternate art cards and this sort of stuff that looks cool and things like this. I want people to be like engaged with my deck. When I bring out my squirrel deck, I'm almost always talking about the squirrels in the forest getting the nuts and harvesting for winter and all of this sort of stuff and whatnot. I want people to be engaged with the story and the lore of my deck. I want people to be oh wow, are the squirrels coming? Are they going to get the nuts and whatnot and all of this? Are they coming down from the trees? And all this whatnot, things like that. I want people to feel like they're part of like the story of the game, of what my deck's doing, not just like, oh, we're sitting here to bash each other in the face or whatnot and things like that, or we're just here to combo off and hopefully win on turn 3 or whatnot, things like that. It's not just about that. It's all about the game experience, and everyone gets to have fun playing the game. So that's it, guys. That's what I'm all about, and whatnot. So that's my thoughts on the toxic sort of environment sort of stuff, and all of this stuff about building your deck, make people hate your deck, and things like this. All of those sort of clickbaity sort of things that people put out there and whatnot. Certainly those decks like Turgid and some other decks like that exist, and Grand Arbiter decks exist and whatnot, but you can build like Grand Arbiter in a sort of more fair way to a degree. It can be annoying, but it can be less annoying. It cannot be just stacks or whatnot. But anyway, guys, as I say, that is pretty much it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed this, and hope you will continue to follow the channel, because I've got lots more planned. I'm not going anywhere. Pretty much I will try to do whatever it is that I can to try to entertain you guys and bring you the best content that I can. So let me know what you think about all of this. Write your thoughts down there in the comments below. Hey, you've just finished watching one of our videos. A bunch of other videos are popping up on your screen now for you to check out, so why not check them out?